So on Monday, when I was having my hairs cut by Raquel, who has cut my hairs for the past probably 5 years or so, off and on, but consistently for the past 2 years for sure. You know how you're sitting in the chair and in the room you can see because of all of the mirrors everywhere? Well, there was a man behind me facing the other way, having a young woman cut his hairs. And he must have been, I don't know, in his 60s or so. And Raquel and I were just talking away, our usual, stuff that we talk about with our hairstylists. And I just happened to look, behind my shoulder in the mirror to see this guy. And he had asked this poor young girl who was cutting his hairs what he had done. Now, I've never seen this before. Maybe it's something that happens in hair salons across the country or in North America, or for that matter, anywhere else in the world. I don't know. But it's the first time I ever saw it. And he obviously had said to this young girl, this young woman who was doing his hairs, "Would you please clean up some other hairs?" And he had his shirt down like this, and she was with the electric razor shaving all of this area on his body, all around the clavicles, and all that hair that grows on men down their arms. Well, I just about had to ask my stylist for a bucket to puke in. The things you see when you least want to see a gross out thing to see. Ick. I'm going to attach a tiny little clip of a male cardinal feeding his baby. I'm going to go out and take a picture of what they did to the garden and show you that. And I'm going to show you the brownies that I made from scratch for Aaron and Tiffany when they came for dinner on Sunday. And finally, further to the saga about the house that should have been designated a heritage home. We went to the meeting, arrived at about 4:45 on Monday afternoon, and found the doors all barred, and we couldn't get into the council meeting. And they had decided to have an in-camera meeting to decide what they were going to do without all of our input. And our mayor was worried because of a potential lawsuit. So they deliberated for about 25 minutes, leaving everybody standing outside the door to the 3rd floor observation area. And then unlock the doors, and in we come. And the chairperson of the Planning and Environment Committee gets up and he starts talking. None of us could hear him. And the mayor just says, "We'll decide it tomorrow at the council meeting and keep you informed." That's it. So one of our counselors came up to talk to us afterwards to explain what had happened, because none of us could understand. And apparently they had had another vote, and they had had unanimous support from the committee to recommend to council to designate the building, the house, And then last night was City Council's meeting, and we watched most of it on the television. And when our issue came up, one of the councillors jumps up, who's not on the committee for planning and environment, and he says, it's not fair that the person that bought the house, thinking that it wasn't designated, now finds out that it is. Well, we've debated this for the past 3 weeks, and he should have known that, or could have known that, if he had done his homework. So he speaks to it. Another person speaks against the issue as well. They hold the vote, and it passed with 2 no votes, and I think it was 13 or 15 yes votes. So far, the house has been redesignated, but the new owner is filing a complaint with the Ontario Board to have a final judgment as to whether or not he can tear it down. But that's probably going to take at least a year. I'll update you when I know more. That's it, that's all.